Hello, and welcome to what will be part one of my Automobilista 2 career mode for the Zero to Apex mod. Before we get started, as this is part one of anything I've done, I wanted to do a little introduction. My name is Kyle, or Cool Rat, and I'm a sim racing newbie. I picked up my first wheel and pedals at Logitech G920 a little over a month ago, and have absolutely fallen in love with it. Spent most of my free time since, and even a little before, playing sim racing games, watching sim racing content, and it's been such a joy to dive into this world. And considering I am very new to this, I just want to be upfront. I am very bad. This is not going to be your typical sim racing content where they're picking up wins and podiums, and you're seeing driving skill on display. This is going to be seeing the perspective of someone who is also very new to this still. And I thought that could be fun, to include more on this my sim racing journey, as it were. Um, and I've been especially enjoying Automobilista 2, and this mod, the Zero to Apex mod, which I will have linked in the description, has been so much fun. I've played a little bit already, and it's been a joy. As you know, if you've tried other mods that have done career modes for AMS2, they require a lot of setup, a lot of finagling on your end, where this one kind of handles it all for you, which is super nice. And because I'm lazy, and so I've appreciated having that all done for me. There are certain aspects of it that are a little rough still, but overall, it's a good time. And so let's just jump right into it. Start a new career, normal pace, play. Time to create our driver. The character we will be driving as is named Curtis Spinner. Curtis Spinner is a man from the United States of America, born on the 15th of March, 2006. Only 19 years old, Curtis Spinner is the son of Franklin Spinner, local mechanic, well known for his skills outside of the car, who had dreams of being inside the car. Franklin was never able to make it happen, never made it beyond local racing, the local racing scene. And so Curtis is trying to fulfill his father's dreams and become a world-renowned driver himself. Now, as we start, you start with the Caterham Academy series. We are going to be leaving it on recommended 80 difficulty, which will be plenty challenging for me. I'm sure most of you play this on at least 100. Not me. So let's get into it. All right, before we get into it, I figured I should walk you through my gameplay settings. As you can see, we have no steering or braking or opposite lock assist. I know it's baby mode, but I'm playing with automatic clutch. I don't have a shifter. I do have a clutch pedal with the G920, but it's right now I'm just trying to learn how to control these cars, and I would like to get a shifter, and I think once I do, then I'll start incorporating manual clutch. We are using manual gearing. I have authentic driving assist allowed. If we end up in a car that has traction control or ABS, then I'm not going to shun that. Damage is set to performance impacting, and random failures are on. A little bit more baby mode stuff. We do have manual rolling start and pit stop and cooldown lap off. But that is our settings. So let's get into qualifying. For the future, I don't know if I'll include qualifying in the video. I may or may not. If it's not obvious, this is all very amateur, very off the cuff. You know, my entire sim racing rig is that G920. I'm recording this using not a Logitech, a Turtle Beach headset. That was like less than $100, you know, it's... So apologies if you pick up any background noise. Or if my voice quality is not up to the standard you are used to. Oh, immediately we have a spin. Just navigate around that. So yeah, as will be very obvious as we lap around Brands Hatch Indy, is my skill or lack thereof. As mentioned before, you know, I was hoping it would be an interesting or refreshing take, maybe, on sim racing content. Because most of what I've seen has been created by people who have been doing this for a long time and are very good at it. And I love that. Obviously, that's makes for great content. But I thought it might be interesting to present it from this perspective. And maybe, hopefully, over time, all of you will be able to see my skill improve. You know, that's the idea. As I get more familiar with the cars and using a wheel. Though it might, it's gonna be slow going. Like, you're not gonna be seeing me win a lot of races or get a lot of podiums, a lot of pole positions. That stuff is probably going to take some time, depending on how the dynamic difficulty works for Zero to Apex, which I don't know if I've mentioned, that's the setting that we will be playing on, just because of the variance in my own skill, track to track, and car to car. Come on, brother. Something I've heard many creators say is how hard it is to talk, to commentate your own driving. And I've always heard them say that and believed them, but then they make it seem so easy. And it is not. So apologies also if I trail off. There are periods of silence as I am focused in, trying to just not go off the track, which will happen a lot. I imagine we may have just as many DNFs as actual finishes start. But I'm hoping that'll be part of the fun. I mean, you'll never know what to expect with one of my races. As we've had another little coming together of sorts. The cars off the track. Make some major hitches there. I don't know what that was about. It's another one. Hopefully those were isolated incidents. I don't usually have any performance problems running AMS3. Around to set what I think will be a new fastest lap for our driver Curtis Spinner. It was, but it only puts us into 14th. Oh no, and we're in the gravel. That's what I get for looking at the standings instead of looking at the road. there's a lot of traffic. Let's try to get back on the track ahead of 21. Do our best to not ruin anyone's qualifying lap. As a car comes off the road in front of us. I'm just constantly over-revving the engine. It's a process, okay? Just bear with me. And I think we'll both have a lot of fun. Obviously, these are they're beginner-friendly race cars, if they can even be called that. And it's a very simple track. But I do think this combo is quite fun. And I really enjoy just doing laps. Trying to improve my time. Hopefully qualify in the top 10. That'd be really nice. But we've got some work to do if we want to make that happen. I'm never comfortable qualifying right behind another car, because I find myself too closely looking at them instead of driving my own race or just my own laps, and it greatly affects my pace. They both go in the pits. Got a lot of clear air here. So hopefully this next lap will be a good one. Going across the start-finish line. Heading to turn 1. Which I struggle with a lot. I've never been good at doing that turn fast without going off the track. In my initial run through of the 0 to Apex mod, I lose it a little bit there, but that's okay. I did a lot of restarting this race. I did a lot of restarting, not to try and win. That wasn't my goal. I was just trying to finish, and I ended up in the gravel after turn 1 many a time. So I'm hoping with that little bit of experience can put together a better performance this time around. Now my own personal rules as far as what the races go are I'm not going to be restarting under most circumstances. But if like a race start goes really bad, I'm 2 laps in and end up in a big pileup, I may restart. So since these will be edited YouTube videos, I doubt I'll even show that. Unless that would be interesting to watch. I'm very open to criticism and feedback. This is very new to me. Very amateur. Oh, and we are in the grass. See if we can't make it back to the track without causing any accidents. Yeah, this is all very new to me, which I'm sure has been obvious. But it's something I've wanted to do for a while. I just haven't had the right thing where I felt motivated and thought it could be good enough or worth presenting, you know. But since I picked up the racing wheel, I've wanted to do some sort of sim racing content. I just haven't figured out what until I start playing this mod. And since it handles a lot of the back end stuff for you, and you just get to focus on the races and, you know, the role play, I figured it would be a perfect place to start. But I have other ideas of stuff I would like to do. Like, I'd love to take advantage of the very robust open wheel catalog, I guess, the selection they have in this game, and do a kind of historical F1 career. I was thinking maybe like starting in 1995 and go from there. No real reason to pick 1995. I kind of just like the way those cars look. So I was recently watching the first race from that season, and one of the commentators was talking about how ugly they are and how they're in the ugly duckling era of Formula One car. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you I think they're beautiful, but there's just something about them that I really like. Like, I love the nose and wing design of those cars. I just think it's fun. So we caught up. Oh, we're 5th right now. I didn't even notice. Let's just bring it around into the pits. Car kind of YOLOing his way back onto the track. I don't know why I thought I could do that without pressing the brakes. Gravel. Speaking of YOLOing your way onto the track, I'm sorry. Let's just cross the line. Bring it back into the pits. And end our qualifying session. Oh, that I forgot. I forgot it just sends you back out. I have to go. I'll let this run out, and then we'll get the race started. All right, so we qualified 7th, which is pretty good. You know, I was hoping for a top 10. I feel good about getting 7th. And let's get into the race. Okay, lights are green. We get off the line a little sloppily, but no wrecks at least. No wouldn't spin out any. Turn 1. Get jumped a bit by Said. Saeed? I have no idea. I always hate pronouncing anyone's names incorrectly. I know this guy's fictional, but there are people who actually have that name. So let's try and focus on keeping it on the track. Decent enough start. Lost position. Bring it down to 2nd gear. Nurse the throttle a little bit. Over-rev the engine. Alright, that's 1 lap down. Pretty comfortably in 8th right now. I'll be happy if I can finish in the top 10. I get so nervous coming around that turn every time. Someone tries to take the inside. We block them, I think. Definitely a little off the pace from the faster cars, even the cars that are directly behind me. I think I've bunched them up a little bit. Two laps down, 2 to go. So nervous. I'm not, even though I'm not doing this live, I feel the pressure to put something together that's worth seeing. Even if that's an 8th place finish against 80 difficulty CPUs and Automobilista 2. This final turn. Cross the line for the final lap. I don't know if there may have been a yellow flag I missed. I saw the flag go green again, but I missed if there was a yellow flag notification. But I do see that there's a little more space behind me now than there used to. So I wonder if something happened. I wonder if I caused it without noticing. I promise I'm going to try to race clean. No, I'm not going to intentionally run anybody off the road. Uh-oh. A lot of smoke. Big lockup, I assume. And we bring it home to finish the first real race of Curtis Spinner's career. In 8th place. I'm happy with that. It's better than I feared. Worse than I had really hoped. Alright, now we see the results for Curtis Spinner, P8, Brands Hatch Indy. He lost 800 credits. I'd say it was worth it. Our elo went down too. That's a little embarrassing, but no, it's the start. We have 11 offers. But time to make our decision. Scuderia. I'm so sorry. I know it's probably sacrilegious that I don't know how to pronounce that. A seat at Caterham Academy UK. Blanco Real. Seat at Copa Uno. Formula Dirt. Brazil. Formula Internacional. Let's see. Karting. I don't even know what the TSI Cup is, if I'm being honest. I'm thinking I'm going to accept 2 seats. Because I have such an affinity for open wheel racing, we are going to accept a seat with, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but we're going to accept a seat with them. They expect to fight for wins. That is maybe a little too high of an expectation, but we're going to accept this contract. And for our second seat, I think it would be fun to have more than one going on at the time. I think we are going to race for Blanco Real, the Copa Uno. Okay, now that we have our team selected, let's go to our inbox, and most of these are just going to be the contract offers. Except an email from Omar taunting me. So, a little awkward in the way he refers to the racetrack we just raced at. But, I guess we have a little rivalry brewing with Omar. So we can take a quick look through the menus. As you see in the hub, we've got, Curtis Spinner, Tier 1. We got our recent results, the race screen, which is going to be very important. Obviously, all the races are. Or we'll see our upcoming events. A very handy tree which displays the different levels of the different types of racing. Right now we are in Copa Uno down here in the entry. Also the Formula V Gen 2, which doesn't seem to have its own listing, but I imagine it's here in the level 1 single seaters, Formula V Gen 1s. Here we can see our championships, where you'll see leaderboards and our own results. We can look at all of them. So choose. Here we can see our contracts. No objective list for Formula E Internationale. So hopefully we'll be finishing ahead of our teammate, Augusto Bassi. And the Copa Uno wants us to finish P8 or better. So hopefully we can accomplish that. Oh, we actually have a list of rivals. Freya Holm, Marcos Salgado, Bomaretti. Oh, and they have reasons. Yellow Neighbor for Marco, Seat Rival, Market Rival for Ivo Moretti. And our nemesis is Freya Holm. I don't know how that happened, but you're going down, Freya. I think it's enough rambling. It's a good time to wrap up the first part 1 of Curtis Spinner's career, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much.